And welcome back to my channel. So in case you hadn't noticed, I'm in a different location filming this week. It's not my usual studio, but guess what? It'll work. So let's jump right on in. And this week's coaching video, I'm going to be talking about 8 powerful tips to overcome negative thoughts. So we don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. And the author of that quote is Anais Nin. I hope I didn't mess that up, but it'll be in the description box. So it starts with just a thought or a feeling, or maybe with a sentence spoken by someone else, and then it starts to drag you down. See, you got to be careful about what people say to you. Well, no, let me not say that. You can't control what people say to you. What you have to be careful of is how you internalize what they say. People are going to say things. They can say them. Let them say them. Who cares? As long as they don't put their hands on you. But let them say what they're going to say. But don't internalize it. You know, I was, real quick, and we're going to jump right into this topic. I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes a couple of days ago, and he was talking about, he was telling a story about 2 little boys crossing a lake, and one little boy fell in, and the other little boy was just, he was frantic. He didn't know what to do. So he went, climbed up in a tree, and broke this huge branch off, and he comes back to the lake and he starts beating the ice and breaking it, and was able to help his friend get out. And so of course the paramedics come and they're baffled. They say, how in the world did this little kid break this ice to be able to help his friend? And you know what? What it was is that there was no one there to tell that young man that he couldn't do it. Now, yes, he was a little scrawny thing, and had there been someone else there, they would have said, oh, you can't break that ice. You're not strong enough. But because there was no one there to tell him that he couldn't do it, he was able to do it. So I want you to let that sink in. We oftentimes feel like we can't do things because somebody is around us telling us we can't do it. But if nobody's there to tell you that you can't do it, I promise you, you can. So let's jump right on in and talk about how to overcome negative thoughts. Number 1, when you're in what seems like a negative situation, find what's good or what you can learn from that situation. So if you had a setback, stumbled or failed, then things might look bleak, and so negative thoughts may start to crop up and threaten to fill your view of the situation. So this is what you need to do. Ask yourself questions like, what's one good thing about this situation? And I do that all the time. If something didn't work, I can say, okay, well, Michelle, what good thing came out of this? And then ask yourself, what's one thing I can do differently the next time? And you should always be asking yourselves that. And then what's one thing I can learn from this? I always ask myself, Michelle, what did you learn from that? Because I don't want to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. So I make sure I learn from the things that don't work out. Number 2, replace the negativity in your life. What you let get into your mind, into your everyday life, will have a huge impact on you, and that is so true. That's why I tell you guys all the time, be careful of who's in your inner circle. Because I'm trying to tell you, just like with the little boy and breaking the ice, if somebody had been there and said, hey, Joey, you can't do that, you're too small, Joey would have believed it. I don't even know if that's his name, but he would have believed it. But because there was no one there to tell him that he couldn't do it, he was able to accomplish it. So you got to get rid of the negativity. So start questioning what you allow inside of you. Ask yourself, what are the top 3 sources of negativity in my life? And rest assured, we all have some. May not necessarily be 3, but we all have some. And then ask yourself, what can I do to spend less time with these 3 sources this week? And let me say this, once you get rid of those 3 or cut back spending time with that negativity for this week, make it another week. Before you know it, make it a month, a couple of months. And then before you know it, it's been a whole year and you've gotten rid of all that stuff completely. So if you can't find ways to do that right now for all 3 of them, then take a smaller step and focus on doing that with just one of those sources. If that one source of negativity is a family member, cut them back. Cut them so far back, they're going to wonder what the heck happened. Okay? Because it may be a family member, it could be a co-worker, and it could be a spouse sometimes. So, I'm sorry, let me get back to my notes. So you're going to cut them back, take smaller steps, and then focus on doing that with just one of those sources. Then spend the time on more positive sources and people that are already in your life or that you want to explore and perhaps make a new part of it. I keep nothing but positive people in my inner circle. And well, let me be honest, in my inner circle and my outer circle, I have no time for negative thinking people. I just don't. I can love them from a distance, but I don't need them in my inner circle or anywhere near it. Number 3, stop making mountains out of molehills. To stop a small negative thought from becoming a big monster in your mind, confront it early. And that's kind of hard to do for a lot of people, but you have to do it. Number 4, speak life and not death. Keeping negative thoughts that are starting to cloud your whole mind bottled up won't help you, but it will hurt you. So share your thoughts with someone you trust because venting can help you see your situation in a better light. Key word there is someone that you trust. You cannot share with everybody. You just cannot, because if you share what you're thinking with that negative source, honey, you can forget it. You can forget it. Some people just want to be nosy, so you can't share with them either. Find that one person that you can share with. I'm so thankful that I have that bestie that I can always share with her. She can always share with me, and she knows that whatever she shares with me stays with me. I would never share with anybody else. I don't even care if down the road we stop being friends. I would never tell what she shared. So you've got to find somebody that you can trust to share your stuff with, okay? Number 5, learn to live in the moment. And before I jump right on into this is so hard to do, you guys. I am trying to learn to do this. It's hard sometimes, but you've got to learn to live in the moment. So stop walking around thinking about what has happened to you in the past. Instead, focus your energy on what is to come. Start making it a habit to spend time living in the present moment, and you will have fewer negative thoughts. Now, when I say I struggle with working on this, I'm not talking about stuff that has happened in the past. Child, in the past is the past. I'm done with that. As Medea said, just like your big ass, your past is behind you. But when I say I struggle with living in the moment, it's because my mind is always thinking about the next thing that I need to do. My mind is saying, okay, even though I'm doing this video, I've got to come up with content for next week's video. And so sometimes I have to just stop myself and say, Michelle, no, live in the moment. Focus on recording these videos, not necessarily today, but it does happen sometimes. And then you can worry about what you're going to do next week and the week after that, the month, the year, all that after that. So when I say I struggle living in the moment, that's what I'm talking about. My mind is always focused on the thing that I've got to do next, or the thing that I've got to do later on when I get home, or the thing I've got to do tomorrow, or whatever. So I'm working on that. So let's jump right on in. So try one or both of these exercises. Focus only on your breathing. And to do this, I want you to take a 1 to 2 minute pause right now. Take a deep breath. Make sure you're breathing in through your nose and allowing your stomach to expand. Oh my God, that is the best way to relax. Can I just tell you guys that? Take a deep breath in through your nose, and your stomach will expand out. And then focus as you exhale. Focus only on your breathing and nothing else. That's a powerful thing to be able to do when all you're focusing on is your breathing. You're not concerned about the next minute, the next second, only your breathing for right now. And then also try this. Take in the world around you. Take a 1 to 2 minute break, right? Get out of your head and put your attention on what's going on around you right now and nothing else. Just focus on the people walking by outside your window, the muffled words and noises from the street, the smells around you, and the sun shining in and warming your skin. So if I were going to do that right now, which I can't because I'm recording, but if I were going to do that right now and I take in what's going on around me, the ceiling fan is on. The television is on, and I'm not sure what the movie with Vin Diesel in it, Pacifier I think it's called, where he's watching these kids. I'm not looking at it, of course, because I'm focused on what I'm doing, but the TV is on in the background. And I can hear birds somewhere over here outside the window. I can see the sun coming in through the window to my left behind me, but I can also see the sun coming in the window. You all can't see it, but through the living room way over there. So sometimes you have to do that. Just take in what's going on around you. Number 6, the vague thoughts don't let the vague thoughts pull you down. So one common mistake people make when it comes to fears, one common mistake people make when it comes to fears, and that I've made many times, is to become scared and run away from them instead of taking a closer look. It's of course natural to feel that impulse and to want to avoid it, but when fears are vague, they can become so much scarier than they really need to be. This made me think of, over the years, I've had a reoccurring dream. And in this dream, I'm running. And I spend the whole dream just running. And when I wake up, I have no idea what I'm running from. And so I was listening to, it wasn't T.D. Jakes. It might have been T.D. Jakes. But anyway, I was listening to somebody preaching, and they said, going forward, stop running in your dreams. Stop running. Just stop, turn around, and face whatever it is that's chasing you. Now I'm going to share this with you, and then we're going to move on. A couple of days ago, I had a dream where I was in my front yard, minding my business. A real estate agent drove up, and she was asking questions about the house next door, which really is for sale. And I said, well, not much I can say. My neighbor died quite a few years ago now, and the house is just empty. And so she says, well, do you mind walking around it with me? I said, sure, why not? So we got go in the yard with her. We walk around the back. On the side of the house, we go to the backyard. I thought, ooh, somebody had planted a really nice garden in this yard because it was really nice. And so we hear a noise, and so we come back around the side of the house, and there's a burgundy van that's pulling up in the yard. And so we're coming out of the yard because they're pulling in. It's like, ooh, somebody does live here. Because as far as I knew, even now in real life, the house is empty. But in the dream, as far as I knew, no one lived there. And so this burgundy van pulls in the yard, and there was a mother and a father, and there were 2 kids. And the scary part about it for me was they were zombies. They weren't real. They were zombies. And it was really, really scary. And so we took off running. And there were people out on the street, but they didn't bother those people. They were only bothering us, and I don't know why. And so I remember this dream so clearly because they ate 2 stray dogs on the street, but they didn't touch the people, and they chased us unrelentlessly throughout this dream. And I'm thinking to myself, Lord, why didn't I just mind my business and stay in my yard? I would be running from these daggone zombies. I go over here to help this lady out. Now I'm caught up in some stuff. But in my head, that little voice kept saying, Michelle, stop running. Stop running, Michelle. But I was so afraid I couldn't stop running because I felt like if I stopped running, they were going to get me. I wasn't worried about that lady because I didn't know her. I was worried about them getting me. And so I kept running. But like I said, in my mind, that voice kept saying, stop running, turn around, find out why they're chasing you. What did you do? You didn't know they lived there, so just stop running. But I could not because I was too afraid. And finally my alarm went off and I got up. So I love this part when it talks about, running away from things as opposed to stopping and facing whatever it is that's chasing you. So I want to tell you guys that today, whatever it is that's haunting your dream, haunting your every waking moment, stop running from it. Turn around, face it. Face it head on. Find out what is it that's chasing you, and then find out why. Because you can't move on if you don't confront it. Okay? So, number 7, start tomorrow in a way that sets a positive tone for your day. So how you start your day often sets the tone for the remainder of it. And you ever notice how if you start your morning on a positive vibe, you tend to stay that way all day. If your morning starts off, maybe you're running late for work, you have that slow driver in front of you, you get coffee and it's not hot like you wanted, whatever happens to you in the morning, it sets the tone for your whole day. And you find yourself snapping at people, being nasty to people because your day started off rough. So try to start your tomorrow. Depending on when you're looking at this video, if it's early enough, hey, you can change your day right now. But if it's not, start your tomorrow in a way that sets a positive tone for your day. Number 8, list 5 things that you are grateful for right now. Be grateful. Being grateful helps appreciate what you already have. So here's my list. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my strength. I'm thankful for my daughter. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my other half. I'm thankful for my home, my job, my businesses, my paid bills, my student loans, and you might be thinking, your student loans, yes, because they're in deferment. So I'm thankful that my student loans are in deferment. And I'm even thankful for my failed relationships. You know why? Because it's taught me a thing or two. And I am the person that I am today because of those failed relationships. So be thankful when things don't work out in your life. You know why? Because you learn from it and you're able to become a better person. And I'm also thankful for being a single mother, because that also made me be the strong person that I am. So when you have somebody counting on you, you don't have time to BS and beat around the bush. You got to be about your business. So I'm thankful for having that experience. Was it always a good one? No. Majority of the times it was, but there were some times where it wasn't. And that's okay, because again, I am the person that I am today. I am that strong person that I am today because of the experiences that I had to go through in the past. Okay? So here's your bonus, because I love to give you bonuses. So read positive quotes. I love reading positive quotes, and I'd like to share a few of those quotes with you today. And these quotes, well, this quote is by an unknown author, and so I don't know who said it, but it simply says this: "Watch your thoughts because they become words. Watch your words because they become actions. Watch your actions because they become habits. Watch your habits because they become your character. And watch your character because it becomes your destiny." When I saw that, I was like, you know what? I have got to include that in my notes because I just think it's such a powerful quote. Again, I don't know the name of the author of that quote. Maybe you know it. If you do, feel free to drop that information below. But I wanted to share the quote with you nonetheless. So let's do a quick recap, and I promise I'll let you be. Your 8 powerful tips to overcoming negative thoughts. Number 1, when you're in what seems like a negative situation, find what's good or what you can learn from that situation. Number 2, replace the negativity in your life. And y'all need to do that ASAP. Number 3, stop making mountains out of molehills. Number 4, speak life and not death. And I mean never, ever speak death. Always speak life. Number 5, learn to live in the moment. Stop worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, the next minute, the next second. Live in the moment. Number 6, don't let the vague thoughts pull you down. We all have vague thoughts. They do come and go, but when they come in, I quickly push them out because I don't have time for it, and I certainly don't need it bringing my energy down. Number 7, start tomorrow in a way that sets a positive tone for your day. And number 8, list 5 things that you are grateful for right now. 5 things that you're grateful for right now. And I can promise you, if you list out those 5 things that you're grateful for, honey, that in and of itself will help you to change the way you think and the way you see the world. That's all I have for you guys today. I love you guys to the moon and back. Thank you so much to my newest subscribers. Thank you so much for those that continue to support me. Again, I can't say I love you enough, but I can show you. So, real quick, if you go to either one of my websites, coachingwithmichelle.org, or you can go to firstclasstravelservice.com, and that's first class, FIRST. You will see a tab that says thank you. Click on that thank you tab. A banner is going to pop up, and what you're going to get is a 2-day cruise, a Florida cruise. And so once you click on that banner, you'll get a pop-up to put in the information that it asks for. Excuse me. You'll get a pop-up for the information that it asks for, and then your certificate will be generated and emailed directly to you. Here's what I need you to understand. When you get that certificate, You have 30 days from the date in which you receive the certificate to activate it. Notice I said activate it. I didn't say use it. 30 days in which to activate it. You have 1 year in which to use it. So if you're going to be in Florida specifically, let me see if I can pull that up for you real quick, you guys. I'm sorry. Specifically, the part of Florida that it's leaving out of is, one second, I'm sorry I didn't have this up for you. So it is, yeah, it doesn't say, and I don't want to click on this and create a I don't want to create a certificate I'm not going to use. So anyway, it's for a 2-day cruise out of Florida. So make sure you go get your certificate. Again, 30 days to activate it, 1 year in which to use it. That is all I have for you until we meet again. I want to encourage you to get rid of negativity. Stop letting people tell you that you can't do something and start just doing it. And sometimes that means not sharing everything with everybody. So again, that's all I have. I love you guys so much. We'll talk again next week. Until then, take care.